How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about some updates on the Tamron 35-150 f2-2.8. So let's jump right into it. So as recording of this video, we have an actual date for the release. Supposedly it's October 28th, which, checking on the B&H side, it says the expected availability will be October 29th. So if you're wanting to basically have a pre-order, you should probably go check it out on the B&H website or Adorama, wherever you kind of shop for your own things, because, well, I'm sure there's going to be some limiting and whatever they can't provide for everybody. So I'm just letting you know from the start of this video in case you're wanting to get that lens already with what you've heard. But I'm going to give you some updates on what I've read upon it and what I'm excited about even more now about it. So let's get to digging into some specs. So the price that I saw on B&H is $18.99, which I've already pre-ordered the lens myself because I think that this lens is going to be phenomenal focal range, and it's something that I really want for myself already. So I said, what the heck, let me go ahead and jump the gun and pre-order this lens for me. And if you saw my previous video, you saw that I was kind of ranging into the spectrum of being more expensive than the 70-180, since it is covering more focal range. Kind of kept it around like 1200 to 1500, but I said that even possibly more is understandable because it is covering more focal range, and it is an f2 to f2.8, which in my eyes, it hasn't really been done with Tamron lenses, which makes sense. So the price tag itself isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was hoping that it would stay in the lower end, mainly because of my wallet. I don't want my wallet to break with all the gear, but I know I really want this lens because I know it's going to be very versatile when it comes down to its uses for the focal range that it gives you. So I'm excited for this lens for what it'll do for quality purposes of, you know, for traveling and carrying light, because you don't want to bring too many lenses, especially with the focal range that it has. I'm wondering how good the sharpness is going to be, the autofocus, and everything like that when it comes to this lens. Which, speaking of the autofocus, is going to have, I believe they call it a voice coil extreme torque drive, which to me just sounds really made up, but I'll take it. And it's basically an autofocus system that provides quick and very quiet autofocus for when it comes down to video and stills. So that's something that I kind of want to appreciate, because obviously doing some video work myself, I do want to have some quiet autofocus rather than like the little hunting kind of motion that some lenses can give you, especially with the zoom lens and like broader spectrum, I guess. And even like some of the Tamron lenses, like the 20mm one that I have that's back over there on the shelf that I really haven't used anymore, but it does tend to hunt a little bit, and kind of like you can hear the little bit of autofocus of that one, especially because it's closer to the microphone. So it is what it is. It's not that noticeable, but it is noticeable in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm hoping that this autofocus will be nice and quiet compared to anything else, and it'll just be really smooth and quick for stills and video. Now, one sad thing, and it was expected in my eyes already, is there is no stabilization in this lens, which most Tamrons, and I think all Tamron lenses, don't have it anyway. So that's not the biggest killer for me, because I'm not spending $3,000 plus to get a lens or something like that has the in-body stabilization. Which for me, if you're using Sony cameras, which this lens is for Sony, you have some, you know, in-body stabilization anyway when it comes to the cameras. So I think you should be fine, because I'm pretty fine with mine anyway. Now, if you were hoping that it would be the same filter size as the other holy trinity of lenses at a 67mm filter size, I am having to give you some bad news. It is an 82 from what I saw on the B&H website, which isn't horrible in my opinion. I tend to mainly get the 82mm filter size thread so that I can fit it to basically all my other lenses with a step-up ring. So if you've done that with yourself to kind of give yourself a little bit of a break when it comes down to filters for the long haul, then you're good to go. If you didn't, well, this is a the time to update that and get some 82mm thread size filters just to use for this lens if you plan to get it. But that's basically it when it comes down to the updates that I've seen that I haven't covered basically from my last video. When it comes down to this 35-150 focal range of a Tamron lens, I'm personally pretty excited still with this lens. I'm very happy with it, and like I said, I've already pre-ordered it. So yeah, I mean, non-biased kind of, I guess, talk about it. It's just, I think overall it's going to be a great lens. I think Tamron has been putting out very solid lenses now, and it's hard to kind of not go with a third-party lens with the price point and the quickness. I covered this in a video recently that I haven't really, I guess, invested into the G Master lenses. I just didn't see that the price made sense for what I'm getting and what I'm using them for myself. So I'm really happy with going with third-party lenses. I know a lot of Canon folks kind of wish Canon would allow that, which I think it's good for keeping those brands accountable. So that's just my opinion with it. So I'm glad Sony is one of those type of brands, because they know that most people will go buy their bodies and then have some third-party lenses, but also use their own Sony native lenses. So it doesn't matter. At least you give your consumers a little bit of a chance to kind of, you know, dive into a little bit of different things to their budget, and you're selling more camera bodies anyway. So it's a win-win for them. That's just what I kind of believe. So that's just, yeah, pretty cool in that end. So I'm excited for this lens, and I'm just wanting to have it so I can physically hold it, review it, and show you guys what it can do. So once that arrives, and hopefully I get it faster than I'm hoping for, and that way I can review it for you guys and show you what it looks like. But I'll leave a couple questions down for you, because I'm curious, will you be pre-ordering this lens, or are you just waiting more to see how it goes with more real life testing between like finding other YouTubers to use it, or are you kind of just sold on it and you're just going for it and gonna just buy it? And also, what's your favorite feature of this lens, whether it's all the customization buttons, the size, the focal range, the f2 to f2.8? Let me know down below and share some of those thoughts with me and the community, and let's get some you know, conversations going when it comes down to this gear. See if you're excited about it or not, or if you could care less, I guess. Just curious to know. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.